when I first became born again, whenever I first died, I was looking for folks like myself that had encountered God and had been changed. And I remember there was this one man in particular that I found on YouTube that he had a place in Missouri where he was gathering together people that had encountered God and their life was changed, and he wanted to build a community. And everybody in that community was going to live in love. They were going to build little apartments and everything. I know what a lot of you are thinking, yeah, it's a cult, but that wasn't what it was. They were just going to live in love, and then they were going to try to change the community. And then they were going to try to spread the fire, go from community to community, and start these like fruit of the spirit suburbs, and let the fire of God spread. And he used to make videos, and he would talk about religion and everything. And one time he made a video and he said, I wish everybody would die to themselves and let Christ raise up in them. And one day, just out of the blue, he got invited to the Dr. Phil show, and he was so excited. He thought, man, they're gonna advertise what we're doing, and this is really gonna make the cause, the love of God spread. They're gonna see what we're doing, and it's just gonna go crazy. So he went to the Dr. Phil show, and man, they blindsided him. Dr. Phil is not even a real doctor, but they call him Dr. Phil. And the TV said he's a doctor, then most people believe it. But Dr. Phil come on there, and what they did was they took that clip of him saying, I wish everybody would die and let Christ raise up in them. And what they did was they cut it. And he said, I wish everybody would die. And the man was sitting there, he goes, he said, you cut that, you should have played the rest of it. And Phil said, oh, I didn't have to. That's all I needed to see. See, Dr. Phil and Oprah and all them, they love to show you, it's all about love and acceptance and accept everything. No matter what it is, you just accept it and love them anyway. They hate it whenever you start talking about letting Christ raise up in you. You die to yourself and you show the fruit of the Spirit. Because, see, whenever the fruit of the Spirit is living in somebody, you're not going to see all that mess or trying to shove down people's throats. See, that's what they're doing. I'll never forget how that happened. I'll never forget what they did to that man, and that completely destroyed that movement. They shut that down right then and there, and completely ruined him. All because of this world system. This world system hates the fruit of the Spirit. It hates God. It hates real love, not plastic love. See, what they try to push is that plastic love, that Barbie doll love, that lipstick love, that fake love. They don't want you to see real love. You see, when the whole world starts living in real love, the world system falls apart. Because this world system, all of this stuff on capitalism, hyper-capitalism, whether it's socialism, communism, all of the isms, ain't none of them any good if you don't have love reigning. But capitalism is consumerism. And whenever you have a world that is not living in love, you have mindless consumers who only care about themselves. It's selfish love. They selfishly, got some folks on the mountain, they selfishly love themselves, but they don't love their neighbors as themselves. You see all them, everybody says it's conspiracy theories and stuff, but you see all those magazine covers and all these photo ops, and all of these famous people, and all of them have their eye covered. Most of the time it's the left eye, sometimes it's the right. but they always have their eye covered, and that's symbolic of them showing you that, if you remember, they gouged out the eye. In the English, it says eyes of Samson, but in the Hebrew, the original language, says they gouged out his eye. All right, and that word for eye in Hebrew also means a fountain. It's the third eye. And that's where the fountain of living waters is. That's where God is. This is God's throne right there. That's why they call these two sides of your head temple. This is God's temple. This is where he resides. If your eye is opened, if the sleeper has awakened. Remember, wake, O sleeper, rise from the dead. So first thing somebody does when they wakes up is they open their eye. All right? Once the eye is open, the fountain of living waters, that's when you get your real knowledge and your real substance from God. And you're no longer a mindless consumer, a walking zombie. You're no longer of the dead. And you see, they're always covering their eye, and they're showing you that they have gouged out their eye. All right? And you'll see them a lot of times, they're doing this. There'll be those photo ops, and they're winking at you. It's like they're all in on the know, because this is their little secret. Like when you gouge out your eye, whenever you knock God off his temple and you refuse to let him there, you sell your soul, then that is the key to having success in this earth as far as their fame, their fortune. All right? Now God, if God is alive, if he is awake within you, then he will give you the desires of your heart, but your heart is his heart now. So it's not after all this fortune and fame and things like that. That's not saying that God won't do that for you, because he may have some works for you to do in that area and some works for you to do with that money that he's made available for you. But you will no longer be these plastic people. Everything you do will be done out of real love, not selfish love, selfish ambition, false love. That's why they are desperately trying to gouge out the eyes of the world, because once they do that, their system will be unstoppable. Once the fountain is open, that's where you receive your substance. You know, that's where the manna from heaven comes from. You are communing with God. That's where the real Lord's Supper is, not that ritualistic routine and stuff that you see. Because God has returned to you. He has awakened within you. All right, so whenever you're getting your nutrients, your nourishment from there, you're no longer being fed by this world. All right, all that junk food, all that stuff that's just filler, you know. It makes you feel like you're full, but you're getting absolutely nothing out of it that's good for you. Remember, the name of Jesus in Hebrew is Yeshua. And the way the Hebrew lettering is designed, you can use some of them to make pictographs or images. That's why Yud Hey Vav Hey, the name of God, you put it together and it forms a man, because God is within man. Well, the name Yeshua means the hand that destroys the establishment of the eye. All right, so he's the hand of God. If Christ is within you, then you have the hand of God. You are his hands. You're doing his work. All right, so it means the hand that destroys the establishment of the eye. And see, the world knows the truth about the eye. That's why they try to keep everybody blinded. They are the establishment of the eye. They're trying to gouge out the eyes of the world.